Good morning, folks. Welcome to this beautiful Thursday morning and another episode of the Phee Smee Show with Manly Mark. As always, I'm the host, Manly Mark, and riding shotgun with me. I always get confused about, am I the host, you're the co-host, or host, co-host?
Last night I was the guest host of your show. So
host?
Yeah, I was your guest host of the Manly Mark Show, so you can be the co-host of the Phee Smee Show.
Well, the thing is, I told Phee to meet me at the pub at noon, and then I got caught up, and so I accidentally, I ghosted Phee.
I went to the pub.
I will change, I'll change that right now, Phee. Don't tempt me. Don't you tempt me.
Don't you tempt me.
I was in a hurry.
Our boy, Manly Mark, texted me today at 7:40 saying I'm out front reading some serious news, scrolling up and down, rasping
Honestly,
around.
I just needed a moment to myself because sometimes lately I haven't had very many moments to myself. I'm either here, there, at home with Joe, and it's just like, what's funny is I'll charge my phone in the mornings, and this last week, I'll leave here and be like, my phone's still 80%, dadgum. No time to just sit and scroll anymore, man. No time. At home you can't, because the second you try read an article, manly, leave me alone. I don't care.
It's cool they call you Manly.
Well, I mean,
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a manly deal. Did you plant any blackberry, blueberry bushes last night?
No, everything's dying, man. I mean, not dying.
That's because you won't plant them.
No, they're all planted.
Okay.
I just mean it's just so hot that I water them every day, but all the leaves are brown.
I think that's one of our advertisements.
And the sky is gray.
You like that song?
I love the Mama and the Papas.
Yeah, the Mamas and the
Papas. And they got other good songs like, I can't remember the name of it because it's a weird name, but that one that everyone's getting fat like Mama Cass. You know that one?
No,
I hope fun not. Of Mama Cass?
Mama Cass?
Mama Cass.
That's
she's a member.
Cass.
Yes, she's a member of Mamas and the Papas, and it's just funny that they include in the song, no one's getting fat but Mama Cass. And it's just like
she's making the money.
Yeah, or they got that one song, stars shining bright above you.
I like that
Night
song.
breezes seem to whisper. Da, da, da. I love Mamas and Papas. Now that's not an original. But
you guys send in on the chats or at feesme.com if you'd like to have Manly Mark stand up and do a nice guitar and 1 hour show. He's used to travel all around and do them.
I have,
tell the truth. You've been there. You've been involved in those dadgum honky tonks.
I have, but I've only had one. There's a good several months chunk out of my life that every weekend on Friday I was playing at this bar, and on a Saturday I was playing at the other bar. Yeah. And I left that band, and now they do it for a living.
Right.
Yeah, they suck. Not hating, but I'm not even gonna give the names. But just to know that, man.
You didn't know they were going to get to sign the record contract.
No, but
after
you'd
be
be surprised how many opportunities I'll just jump ship on because I think, I don't like the way they treated me in this one instance, and now I don't care. So so many opportunities I've just, crap, I could have been in Nashville playing with a crappy band, but having
they're
fun.
still making money.
Yeah, but
you were probably the best of the bunch.
100%. And not that I think I'm that talented of a musician, but they're just not trying to be mean. The guy just can't even sing very good.
You showed me a one of his music videos.
Well, okay, yeah,
telling the truth.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you remember?
I do remember.
Yeah, not being hateful. It's just
no, you're not being hateful.
But there was only one instance, and this was right after I got out of college, and with a different band, who was my friends and we're actually good, where you had the whole honky tonk experience, like where people you don't know are wanting to buy you stuff. You go off to take a break from the set, and people are just I don't know. It was fun. It was fun. That would be fun. But now I'm married, have a family, so I wouldn't want to live that kind of. I mean, I would love the idea of traveling around playing music, but is it really a lifestyle that's cohesive with being a good family man of the Lord? Probably not. And I know you can do those things while maintaining those boundaries, but whether or not anyone could, I don't know. If that makes sense.
My point in all this long dialogue of Manly was the boy is talented.
Well, I don't
he
know
knows
about
what
that.
he can do, and he's actually, he's a paid performer. And the thing I like about your last statement when you went off to get your break, what you didn't want to say is you were swarmed by loyal fans. See, that's the athleticism that you don't want people to realize, that just like they idolized Tom Brady, they were coming over and doing those man remarks.
It's just,
hey, dude, you're so good. Can I get you a
I was just the
drink?
bass player, I was just the bass player. But that was the only time I've been on stage and got so in my head that I was just literally so in my head that for a good chunk of 2 or 3 minutes, I was just thinking, man, playing some music, and then I had to remind myself, whoa, hold on, I'm in the middle of a stage playing some performance. I gotta pay attention. Just got so lost in the music, lost in playing.
You ever done that driving where you don't know where
you're going? 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean,
that's what you did on stage.
Yeah,
huh?
which, I mean, to compare it like that's kind of scary because, it's kind of scary with driving, but, just being on stage, who cares? But, I just whoa, hold on, got to pay attention. There's people watching me.
I think that
I miss it though.
You do miss the opportunity.
Well, and I just like
come
playing
in here and get us a nice.
Well, I could, but at the same time, it's like, well, if I'm preparing an hour-long set, I'm going to local Herta and making $200 instead of unless Jerry wants to hear me play a few tunes.
That's fantastic.
I mean, although that would
review,
but that would give me motivation to actually learn an hour-long set to then start going and playing a few nights a week or something. Just making a little extra money playing music or opening
something you like.
Yeah, well, I don't have a band, so it's just like I know La Herta down the road has live music. Maybe they need an opener sometimes.
They certainly have a lot. You're talking about going downtown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been there. It's been 5 years or 6 years.
Me and my wife go there all the time. The manager always gives me a knuckle bump because we're such
Y'all
regulars.
so tight.
Yeah. So honestly, I just need to ask him. Hey, you guys ever need any openers? Give me a call.
What's going on today, Manley, that you've been studying about out there in that truck? Did you air up your tire today, like I told him yesterday at the pub?
Every morning. Every morning? What do you mean? Every morning I air up my tire. Every morning.
I get a kick out of it.
And it's getting to the point now. I need to. My front brakes are so bad that I kind of fear coming to and from work every day. And it just makes a terrible noise. Terrible noise. My front brakes.
So you think you kind of secretly enjoy the not knowing about whether the brakes are going to work or not?
No, not that. No,
you secretly enjoy airing up the tire.
No, I secretly don't enjoy it. It's not that I enjoy it. It's just that I don't think about it until I need to do it. Like when I'm doing this right now, so I'm not thinking about, okay, when I get done with this, I need to take my tire to the shop and have them fix that so I don't have to air up my tire every day. It's literally, oh, man, I came out here this morning and my tire's flat. Got to air it up. And then I forget about it. And then I come home. And the next morning, oh, my tire. Dadgum. It might make me look like a fool, but that's just what happened. And so I don't think about my brakes until I go to stop and it starts making this terrible crunching noise. Or just, it's to the point now where every time my wheel turns, it makes a weird crunching noise. I don't know anything about vehicles, but not knowing whether or not I'm going to lose control of my vehicle, I don't like that. Now, if it's something like, I hadn't gotten an oil change in a while, let's see how long I can push that. That's okay. I mean, not that I would do that, but I'm just saying, in terms of my brakes and losing control and having a fiery crash, I actually get concerned. That actually concerns me. I just not in a position to do anything about it right this moment.
Yeah, I can understand. Between those type.
Well, and I really think about it like yesterday when I was having to drive my boy around all day. I was thinking, ooh, I don't like. Because it's even getting to the point now where it wants to kind of like something will catch and kind of tug me a little bit to one side. I'm like, ew. But Jerry, if you know anything about cars, tell me what's going on, brother.
I probably need to put a little brake fluid in it.
Well, it's got brake fluid because when my back brakes started doing that, I'd have to put a can of brake fluid in every time I drove. So I'm not, but I'm not losing brake fluid. So I know it's not, as bad as they were there, but something's going on. I don't know. I just got to get it fixed.
You could actually call Tesla's Robo taxi. The old Robo taxis now being Robo taxis now being tried in Austin, Texas.
A Robo taxi tab for a week would probably be enough to get
That's probably true.
Truck fixed.
But Uber's come out with some problems with trying to upgrade their security and their the background checks for their drivers because they've had some sexual assaults.
Well, yeah, and I hear often it'll be like you can, I guess, as a female, specifically request a female driver, or like on some of these apps. I don't know specifically Uber, but some of these food delivery things specifically,
like DoorDash and stuff?
specifically request a woman. But then, so a lot of people are noticing or finding out, well, they requested a woman, but some random other.
What if a woman actually wants to request a man?
Okay, well, I don't know about that because I mean, okay, well, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's erode the real point we're trying to make. The problem. Well, but now that you mention it, I wouldn't mind getting request.
That's what I thought. I was just trying to make a joke. Don't lose your train of thought, manly.
No, but you know how I am. Sometimes I make a sub point about the main point, and then when I finish the sub point, I'm like, golly, what was the main point I was even talking about? I have no idea.
Well, there's 8 Robo taxis that are led by the latest gen Tesla Model Y, and they are roaming the Austin, Texas, and San Francisco Bay Area. So it says the app itself is actually pretty good, but exactly what you'd expect. So they get the app, the old Robo taxi comes and
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Them up and
that's pretty cool.
They pay for it all digitally.
I mean, that wouldn't hurt if they were less likely to get in a wreck than a regular person taxi, then wouldn't hurt my feelings.
I think they ought to have the mask or have the Robo a robot in there behind the wheel acting like he's driving.
See, now that's cool.
And then you could put different, like the character of what's the character of Old Christmas? Or you got It's a Wonderful
Santa
Life
Claus?
taxi driver.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But the guy who was the mean, ugly taxi driver.
Yeah, you can make them have personalities.
Yeah. And then you had Robert De Niro in actually the movie Taxi Driver, which that was a scary movie.
Never seen it.
Oh, a fantastic movie. Made in the 70s before you were born.
Okay.
Well, you were born in 1995?
Yeah. Yep.
1995, and your birthday's in October?
Yep.
Yeah, so
yeah.
far.
Do you want to give him my social security number while we're at it?
621-388-8213.
You don't want to give people access to that kind of information. I mean, your social security number, but even your birth month or your birthday or where you were born or.
Well, you want me to tell you where you were born?
No, I don't. Okay, I'm being serious.
Okay.
This is serious.
Okay, go ahead.
Because people can find out too much about you in a. You allow your people to hex you when you give too much information about yourself.
They already do that to me.
Well, but I don't want that on me.
Yeah.
So if you want to give your star chart to the world, go ahead.
I'm a Virgo.
I don't want that. Well, but you already opened it up. Put me up to it. Like, for real. That stuff spooks me out.
All right. Well, I just
because the unseen is real.
I'm enjoyed with the Robo taxis.
I think that actually is a cool idea.
So, they're testing them right now. I just don't know how far it's going to go.
Well, the whole point is they're going to make it where we don't drive for long. That's the whole point,
And what about Bill Gates saying that phones will be obsolete?
I saw that, and I mean the only implication about that is because they'll be wearable or attached to us, and so
well, they got the nano bots going through the ink of the tattoos.
Yeah, well, and they already have Phil's already loaded with the nanobots because of the COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
The COVID vaccine's filled with those little nanobots.
Well, I don't think there's any question.
Graphene oxide?
That you believe that there's lots of nanobots in the body right now because of that COVID vaccine.
I think something's going on. I mean, I think at the very minimum, it makes your body produce spike proteins naturally, but the problem is these spike proteins are produced in all these other organs, so then your body attacks these other organs. That's why it's killing folks. I mean, that's at the very least, that you introduce this foreign DNA, and now your body's producing this spike protein DNA that it didn't in the first place, and your body's sent to these sites where the spike proteins are present: your brain, your heart, your eyes, your liver, your kidneys, and so it's just a systematic attack on your body. You have that going, I think, at just the very minimum. But then now you got people talking about how, well, with this graphene oxide this, graphene oxide that. How will things like that be affected with the 5G, the 6G, and that I mean,
Their updates.
well, they're updates, and not even that they're robots now. It's just like, okay, well, how would these little, okay, if it's just graphene oxide or other heavy metals, how would it react with increased 5G or increased 6G? Or if it is little nanobots, self-assembling structures, well, how would those be affected by these 5Gs? Rapid aging, rapid this, rapid that. I don't know. But something is going on with those COVID shots, and like I said, you scared the populace with a fake disease. Not fake that it didn't exist, but for all intents and purposes, a seasonal flu. But the real weapon was the vaccine. That was the real weapon.
And they gave them liability. No liability issues.
Yeah,
so they could put whatever they wanted in you.
And not only that, I should have included this, but there were even sites. You can pull up a site called Is My Batch Bad? And they were tracking these batches of COVID vaccinations and finding the specific batches, and then the batches have sub numbers that were not tainted, but having the most incidences of side effects, negative side effects. And they found that not only were they specifically more negative side effects in red states, but that they essentially, some people got saline, because there were nurses putting out videos saying okay, we got all these shipments of vaccines. These crates have an expiration dates, but these crates don't have an expiration date. What's the deal with that? Okay, now some people also saying the same things will pull out one of the COVID vaccines, study it. Hey, well, this is just saline, okay? And so what they were doing was giving targeting and staggering it in the sense of you give a few saline batches here, you give a few real batches here, you give a few tainted batches here, but they time it and I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They coordinate it to where it doesn't just look like everyone got the vaccine and now everyone's having a really hard time. It's just incidences spread out over a course of 6 months, and even to the point where you went into the same pharmacy, got a saline, I went into the same pharmacy, got the, what I'm saying? So however they coordinated it,
they don't care about the patient. It's just a number to them.
No, it's just a number. But
here comes Mark. We're going to give him the saline.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Here comes Phee. But basically what you're doing is they're staggering and altering the numbers to where it looks like it's plausible that they're not doing this.
Yes. That there is real evidence and real verifiable things that was out during the time that were proving that. I mean, again, if anyone out there took the COVID vaccine, you can literally look up your batch on, is my batch bad? I mean, it might be something, a variation of that, but find out the batch number, find out this and that, and it's like, oh, well, crap, a whole lot of people had this batch having some bad time, or whatever. Or, hey, no one with this batch had problems. I don't know, man. It's out there.
Well,
I just wish I would have remembered that at the time.
No, there's no telling what all goes on with that type of stuff. But the end result is that people are having real problems with vaccinations around the world, and that's poison that they're injecting, and they're doing it. They're doing it. In the United States with COVID, they forced a lot of people to do it with public schools and hospital
and
employees.
I don't mean to sound mean or bad, but the people who said they had to take it, or they were forced to take it, they still made the choice, because
they could have lost their job.
They could. Right. It's not that they were forced; it's that
they made it rough on them.
Well, it's just that they chose one thing over the other, and I'm not saying that's wrong. But to say you still had a choice in the matter, but if it would have cost you your job,
I went to nursing school for 4 years. I got out. I've got a family. I've got a good job. I can either not take it and lose my job, or I can take it and keep it. There you go. You still got the choice.
It's still a choice. But then again, I don't think that was the mark of the beast, obviously.
Oh.
But it's just even something as small as that. You had people, I'll never do this. Well, it's going to cost you your job. Okay. How much like that is the mark of the beast going to be?
Exactly.
It's like I went to college for 4 years, nursing school, and now, crap. What are you gonna do?
It's the same thing with people getting jobs. They have dreams all their life, and then they get out of college and they go get the highest paid job rather than what they've really been wanting to dream their dream job all their life. Because, well, if I want to be if you want to be a college basketball or football or baseball coach, you're going to start at washing the socks and jocks as a graduate assistant level.
Right.
You're going to be loading up the computer. You're going to be cleaning up the meeting rooms, and then you've got to move all the way up from that. You know, they were talking about Jesse Waters the other day on Fox. That what is it, Gutfield or Gungfield?
Gutfield, Greg Gutfield.
Okay, yeah. He used to make fun and laugh at Jesse Waters because he was the one getting everybody coffee. He was the guy that was, you know, nobody thought anything about. You know, the young dude that was I can't think of the word right now, but apprentice or
the intern.
Yeah, intern, and he was, you know, and they all were dogging him and making fun of him.
That's funny.
And you know, showing how, you know, he started and what all he went through.
Yeah.
And now, see, when you look back at it,
I didn't know that, but good for Jesse Waters.
Yeah.
Well, but I wonder if, like, in the back of his mind, he's like, I remember Greg Gutfield, how you treated me.
They're supposed to be super friends.
Oh,
and
okay,
been for a long time.
Well, see, I know Greg is a kind of funny guy, so, you know, making fun. Do the people who are making fun of the intern actually hate the intern? Probably not. You know,
and he probably treated him well.
Yeah,
you know, because they still have a long-term relationship.
That's funny to me.
But it was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But when people say, you know, well, they look at the head coach making $3-4 million a year. Well, he spent several years struggling.
Yes.
With his and had to have a wife that actually believed in him, that was willing to do whatever it takes.
I just think those are few and far. Well, how do you say that? I don't think I just.
Well,
think
about that Dude Perfect, folks. All their wives were telling them to go get jobs immediately. Now they're making, each one of them making $3 million a month. But they said, why don't you go quit playing with your friends on the weekend doing trick shots and go get you a job?
Well.
And what happens is when they're making $3 million a month and they're living in the dadgum $1 million homes, and they don't have any problem taking that vacation,
well, because then it's
that yacht.
Then it's. Oh, honey, are you going to this? Are you going to the studio? Or or honey, are you going to the facility or the faculty? It's like instead of hey, you going to play with your friends today?
Or it's he wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't working 60 hours a week, paying all the bills.
Well,
see? So it's a trade-off.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's just the way that the mentality, the mindset. That's the problem. It just because it denotes a level of disrespect.
Yes.
For your husband, which I'm, you know me, I'm old-fashioned sexist, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you're the right way. That's
it's just
biblical.
Regardless if whatever your husband's doing that you disagree with, well, you're the one who made the vows to him, and I think that to a certain degree, if a husband's a certain way, you lose respect for him. But just by virtue of him being your husband, should bring a level of respect that doesn't really exist anymore,
It just goes to show you that the end result always changes people's opinion.
Yeah.
And you don't like that. Nobody that's going through things, if you're trying to build something, you're going to have good days, bad days, and when you really succeed, then they're really happy. And when you really don't succeed and fail, it's I told you so. So you just expect that, but I think it's, the folks who, I worked 60 hours a week and put him through law school, or I put him through medical school. Those are the ones you want.
Well, yeah.
Those are the ones that, unless she's at home every day, dogging you.
I just don't allow myself to get dogged.
No, I know you don't. But I'm talking about the people that actually, let's say he's going to work, he's the graduate assistant at some D2 or junior college, and 15 years later, he's the head coach making $3 million a year at Kentucky.
Yeah.
She's standing beside him at the press conference in her $1,000 suit and her 3-carat diamond ring. She's real excited.
Yeah.
But she wasn't real excited when he was working 12 hours a day and not making enough money to be able to. They had a one-bedroom and didn't have any furniture in the apartment.
It do be that way.
And be eating. Let's see if we can find some change in the couch to get us a Twinkie. See, I mean, people forget those type things. It takes time. Well, I think Putin's he's a puppet master, playing them like a fiddle. Do you know he's so bold and daring that he's now attacking Ukraine close to the NATO borders?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but people are freaking out because it's like, hey, he's still attacking Ukraine. He's still attacking Ukraine while these talks are going on. The war... Just because people are talking doesn't mean the war stopped.
No, but I think he's actually trying to entice NATO You want to come play with us? Come
Yeah.
play over here.
Yeah, because
I think he wants to expand that war outside of Ukraine. Or why would he try to just?
well, and
silent?
that might be. He knows the only way if America's going to get involved, like they are, the only way or their best shot at self-preservation might be to turn it into a larger regional or world war.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Because now it's like, okay, well now everyone else is getting involved. You wouldn't let us just duke it out ourselves. So now I'm feeling like you guys are ganging up on me. So now we're going to have to make this everybody's problem.
Yes, sir. And that makes sense to me on the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
I kept saying, how is Russia going to get on the same side as all the rest of Europe? Well, this might be a takeover right there.
Wow. I mean, I just thought of that. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's pretty salty what he's doing, and Trump just seems to be every day just kind of distances himself a little further and further away. You know, It was they were going to attend 3 meetings, then it was Zelensky and Putin will meet. Now it's the Russian foreign affairs man saying, we need to have lower level talks before we get to that, and that's going to take several weeks in order to work through these issues.
You know, I think on one hand, the reason they might be forcing this issue so much is because maybe Ukraine really can't hold out much longer. I don't know. And, so Russia might know that also. And so, well, if in the midst of these peace talks, Russia was able to get a key piece of land, well, the negotiations change, Well, now you don't have as strong of a position we do. Or, I don't know. So it's like maybe Russia just thinks Ukraine's on the brink of, or, they can hold out longer. I don't know.
Well, without Germany's, France's, England's, the European Union's, the United Nations.
If it wasn't for the rest of the world, the war would have been over in a month or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I really do. I think that they're going. If they get involved, then Putin's going to expand that war, and if they don't get involved, he's just going to keep delaying as they takes more territory and kills more people. So he's
man. How much would you hate to be just a nameless guy who just
a number,
just up and dead in that war? I just.
Well, they're paying. Russia's having trouble getting people to sign up for the military there. And they're paying them $50,000 bonuses and $200,000 death benefits to their families.
It's just because they're cannon fodder, man. I don't know. You just couldn't put a dollar value to convince me to be cannon fodder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just.
Well, that sounds real good as far as the money up front until you actually go over and blow an arm off, and then I don't think or get killed.
Yeah, a drone just drops a grenade on your head.
Yeah.
I mean, man.
Then that's not. That's just $1,000 a week.
Well, because we're in a weird spot in war and technology where it's like, if it was just straight up World War II type fighting, okay, but it's almost like a mix of
machine versus man.
Well, but a mix of trench warfare because you're having to get in these trenches because all these drones, but at the same time you're having to run around and shoot people. So it's just like, I don't know. It's a weird thing because, and not only that, but it's like everyone acts like. If the American military got involved, how much better they'd be doing. But America's not fought an actual, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. They've been fighting.
Aerial war.
Well, not aerial war, but not only that, but what's the word I'm looking for? A war on terror, but insurgency, where it's like you're not fighting a equally as armed and technological enemy. You're fighting these third world country people who are just blending into the background of their culture. Right. It doesn't make sense. So it's like, hey, you see they set up this ambush over there? Let's shoot them from a mile away with our super duper laser weapon. And so it's like, well, now, when's the last time America fought an enemy with their own super laser weapon or their own modern air force or their own modern military army? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I think people don't think about that a lot either. Because not to poo on any of the like Middle Eastern war veterans by any means, but that war is a lot different than you're fighting on the front lines, pushing back, getting pushed back.
Well, yeah, when you got a lot of casualties there. What people, our federal government failed miserably the soldiers in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And so when we went to war, you saw on CNN, it made CNN, all of these green lasers shot up in the air, and us. That is what restored the confidence in our military in the United States. And I do believe that just because we're the United States don't mean that we're all that bad. You know, I mean, we're the best.
Yeah,
and we believe we're the best.
Well, we are the best.
We are going to suffer some casualties if we go to war with anybody.
Right.
That's like you're talking about.
Yeah, a modern, well-equipped military.
We're not talking about fighting Afghanistan.
No.
I mean, we lost people in Afghanistan.
Right, but I mean, how much more would we have lost if they were the Russians or China?
Russia,
yeah.
or India.
Or even like in the Korean War, talked about like, it was just like, I might have mentioned this before, but those video games where you kind of are holed up and you're in a little bunker or a little base or a little area, and it's just first wave of enemies, and you and then second wave, and then just wave after wave of enemy. That's what I've read, a little bit of. I don't know a lot about the Korean War, but just so many Chinese and Korean soldiers that just wave after wave after wave after wave, and man, I mean, I don't know.
I think Manly Mark would run out of ammunition.
Yeah, probably, because I'm just not my
wave after wave after wave.
Well, but my finger ain't coming off that trigger now. I don't know. Well,
I've been telling these folks that India is dangerous.
I just got a good imagination, so it's like I'll hopefully never have to experience that kind of thing. But it's just.
Well, you experience it all the time in video games, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I don't know. You disassociate from video game, but just to see it in your mind's eye and actually try to feel those types of feelings. You're only getting a fraction of it, but just to think like, well, actually putting myself in that situation does feel terrifying in this moment right now. So imagine actually being in that, man. Ooh-wee. Woo! I don't know. Maybe people just don't have that vivid of imaginations.
I think when they throw the ball up, it's game time. You go play. All those butterflies go away.
Well, I mean, they train you how to die well in the military.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, to die well,
But India is now testing their nuclear weapons.
That's not good for Pakistan.
No, it's not.
Does Pakistan have nukes?
No.
Okay.
No. But India does.
That's not.
And
a
those
good thing.
peaceful people over there are just killing and persecuting Christians.
Let me describe. Let me describe the test footage that they'll show for the Indian.
I can't wait for this.
Well, okay. Imagine cardboard background, and then imagine a little paper rocket. A little piece of paper, and then you're hearing these sound effects in the background. See, India is so smart and successful. We have developed I don't know if you saw their video of when they landed a thing on the moon here recently. Oh, so excited. They was watching it live in the Indian space headquarters. Just looked like a cheap 90s video game, man. Just looked like literally just a cheap, the graphics were a cheap early 2000 video game, and it's just like, yeah, pat ourselves on the back, ha 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 ha. Okay, so man, if they got a nuke, okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just lied, man. Some people don't even believe nukes actually exist.
Oh well, I can tell you that the technology definitely exists.
It might be, but it's just that the idea is that, again, I'm not saying I believe nukes don't exist, but
Thank you.
But if they said, if you found out, hey, this most powerful, scary weapon on Earth was actually just a lie to convince people that they could vaporize the whole world, you say, oh well, if I was an evil cabal of world leaders, I'd want the populace to think that the world could be vaporized any moment. And that's not the only logic behind people thinking nukes don't exist.
Nukes definitely exist.
Well, but I think a lot of what we think about it might be wrong. The sense of, hey, when you nuke a spot, it's irradiated for so long and this and that, right? That's just what you think. Nagasaki and Hiroshima are up and running, bussing.
Yep.
They're not everyone. No one's there being born with birth defects, this or that. But isn't the ground supposed to be ruined for 1,000 billion million years after?
Well, it says 75 years anyway.
Well, but the point being is, it's like that wasn't the case for Nagasaki or Hiroshima. Not to mention that the center location of where they dropped the bomb was on the largest or only Catholic church in wherever, Nagasaki or Hiroshima. Almost like that whole thing was satanic ritual, mass sacrifice. Weird that.
Well, I don't think it would have mattered if they'd have been 2 blocks from the
No,
Catholic
it wouldn't
Church.
have. But it's just odd that the spot that they picked to drop was right over something Catholic Church. I don't know. And I mean, in a broader Christian sense, I know the Catholicism is opposed to Protestantism, right? But in a broad Christian sense, it says something. And I mean, again, that's not to say, the Catholics are right. I'm just saying, it's still a church. They're still Christian. So I don't know, man. That makes me feel uncomfortable. But who cares?
Well, there are nuclear weapons, and there is nuclear medicine, and there is nuclear power plants.
Well, I know that nuclear power plants need to be what we're using all over the world. That's the most
cleanest energy.
And it's just like, come on.
That's true.
If they put China, I'm fairly certain I saw news several months ago. China's already working on putting like miniature nuclear power plants for cities, and so it'd be like, okay, Fort Smith here has its own miniature nuclear power plant. So, yay, clean renewable energy, yay! Instead of let's waste all this good land we could be using for something else to put these ugly, disgusting solar panels on that cost a whole bunch of money. The way you make them is super taxing on carbon, and it's just like, or the wind turbines, the amount of oil it took to produce that wind turbine is far greater than anything, the oil that's going to save. It's all just a
deception.
It's all to pat yourself on the back now and kick the ball down the road a little bit.
It's Greenpeace at its finest.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a lie. Make yourself feel good. Make yourself feel good while the people who telling you to stop eating meat are still putting around in their private jets 50 times a week.
Well, they probably got eating some pretty good.
But the point is that all these celebrities coming out saying, "Hey guys, we got to save the earth, pollution, net carbon zero," are the ones pooting around on their private jets, putting out carbon.
You do know that Bill Gates said yesterday we got to go to zero carbon. I'm not a big fan of it.
You breathe out carbon, folks. No carbon means no humans. That's the end goal.
That's the end goal.
Because it's an all anti. I mean, the devil, Lucifer, is anti-human at his core. Any deception or power he promises to give you or to serve him is because he hates you and he hates humanity. He's jealous of humanity.
Because it's in the image of God.
Because we're in the image of God, and he's not. And not only that, according to some, but just Jewish tradition or Islamic traditions, when God made Adam, the image of himself, he told the angels to bow. Hey, bow down to me. Bow down before my image. And, the story goes something along the lines of like, everyone started bowing down, and Lucifer's like, no, I was made before him. No, he should be bowing to me. And Michael said, dude, God's about to look over. Get down on that knee. God's about to, and no. And then, took. I mean, was that the actual story? No, it's just tradition. Just a folklore. But he hates humanity. He hates us. And so the implication being, it would make sense that these people who really serve him at the top, that make you think that they don't serve him, well, their whole agenda is anti-human because the king of the devil himself is anti-human. I mean, I don't know why I got off on that soapbox, but it's all anti-human. The whole lie about population, we got too many people and we need population control. Well, we're actually experiencing a population collapse. I'm serious.
It's an all-time babies all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like Elon Musk, because he might be the false prophet in a end-time scenario, but he's been warning of a population collapse for a long time. I'm serious, man. It's coming.
He's not the false prophet by any
means.
means.
Well, no, but I mean, if it was a technocratic end times, then he might be.
Well,
I mean,
he might be a lot of things, but he's not a.
I liken that to this. Okay, whether or not he's going to be the false prophet or not, right? But it's like how is what you're doing or saying, the false prophet's going to be this guy and the Antichrist going to be that guy, any different from the people who are saying we're going to be gone before the first temple? Okay, so when the first temple gets built, they're going to say, now what do I think? Okay, if the Antichrist is this guy or that guy, but then some other guy, the technocratic Antichrist or the Islamic Antichrist or the Jewish Antichrist or whichever one is going to happen stands there and says, I'm God, you're going to say, what do I think now? And so, that's the only reason I always bring up whichever technocratic, Islamic, Jewish, whatever situation comes, I can't, or Vatican, whatever. If something else happens, then I want to already think about what I'm going to think about, if that makes sense.
Sounds like to me that you believe something, but you still want to give yourself a way to adjust to something else if that doesn't that you.
Well, yeah, because what if we got raptured right now before the third temple got? Well, I'd be happy, but in my mind I'd be thinking, I know I'd be in heaven and whatever. I'd think whatever glorified, whatever thoughts, but I'd just be thinking like, me and Phee was wrong about that. What are we thinking now?
You wouldn't be thinking that.
No, but the point still stands though. It's not that I'm uncommitted to having a guess or uncommitted to having an opinion. It's just, as much as we talk about these people who, what are you going to think when the third temple gets built? Okay, well, what if we think, whoever stands in that temple and declares himself God is going to be Antichrist, whether we say he's going to be Jewish or Islamic or technocratic or Vaticanist, you know what I'm saying? And so it's the only reason I even mention all these other ideas, if that makes sense.
Well, it doesn't, but that's okay with me because there's a lot of things that you say that doesn't make sense to folks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, what if I stand in the third temple and do that? Because then you'd be thinking, well, I don't know we hadn't even considered that line of thinking.
Are you from the Eastern European? Are you
know.
A European Union guy?
You never know.
You never can.
You
tell.
know,
you look like one.
No, I look like a northern.
You look like a Czech.
No, I'm about to throw this table. I look like a Northwestern European, man.
Northwestern European?
Yes. Yeah, my ancestry's Northwestern European, man. It ain't Southern European, it ain't Eastern European, Northwest European.
Northwest European. That's your favorite area? That's
I don't know if it's my favorite because I'm an American, but as far as just where my ancestors are from, it's English, Irish, French, German.
Scotland?
Yeah, probably, just that area, whether my ancestors were Anglo-Saxons or my ancestors were the Norman invaders that came into England, or
I think it was African Congo.
Yeah, okay, yeah, right. Yeah, I've got that optical bun now.
Where you get those locks?
Yeah, well,
they
got some good hair. They got some of those African tribes though got some good hair.
Absolutely,
they got that good hair.
Absolutely.
Well, and it's interesting because even like in Kenya where they got like all those good runners and stuff, they love their milk there. They love milk. It's just interesting how there's most of the world's lactose intolerant, but then most people would associate the ability to drink milk or digest milk with a kind of a European trait because Swedish, Northern European trait. But then there's all over the world, specifically even the Mongolians like milk, or tribes in Africa. Tribes who've been doing it for thousands of years who thrive on milk.
Man, some reason I'm surrounded and talking to people constantly that have a milk problem. You're constantly talking about milk. How you talked about it yesterday.
I love milk.
You love milk. Your wife doesn't have a taste.
She likes it, but she just kind of messes with her belly.
I was talking to someone, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, that their father was a milkman. And his wife and his two kids, they hated milk or were lactose intolerant, so they never could drink milk. My youngest son has never drank any milk, chocolate milk, white milk.
Wow.
I like milk.
Yeah, well,
you brought over some goat milk one time over here.
Yeah.
I know you like milk.
I know. I'm just growing up, I guess because my grandparents were dairy farmers, but growing up for every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and supper, just big old glass of milk. And even at nighttime, wife goes in to get ready for bed. I'm grabbing that jug of milk, and
you told me you drank like 5 gallons.
Well, my wife buys 5 gallons a week, and between me and my baby, we go through them. Even for supper, we'll get the kids' plates ready, fill their cups up with the water or whatever. We'll get my wife drinks, and I'll get my cup, fill up with milk. I'll get the jug, set it down next to the table.
That's what I used to do with iced tea. They always wanted to give me the deck.
Yeah, and so I'll drink 3 large glasses of milk for supper every night.
Well, you tell me you don't eat a lot, and that's why.
Well, and I think subconsciously I compensate for my lack of calories with now. I'm going to get as much as I can with the milk because it's 150 calories per cup. That's a pretty caloric density right there, right. And so. I still don't think it's enough because I'm wasting away. I don't know, I'm getting skinny. But and even like yesterday, helping Joe out there working, holding that board, arms a little shaky. It's not even a heavy board, but just I'm weak. But so I just try to drink as much milk as I can. Now, if I was eating enough and drinking the milk, I'd be a Superman. But I'll get there.
You might be a Superman.
Well, I don't
have to get a uniform and a cape.
Well, I mean, I want to at least. I mean, I'm almost 30, but before. I just mean I want to see the peak physical condition my body can reach before I get old. I think that should be a goal of every man, is to see, you're born in this body. God gave you the qualities and whatever. I mean, some greater and some less than others, but to a varying degree, unique in every individual. It'd be a shame for you as a man not to see what the peak of your body could be. And I mean if you're 45 or 50 right now, I mean, you're not going to, your peak's gone if you're 25 to 30, sure, but you could still reach the peak of physicality of your entire life to see what your body can do. I just think it's a shame that, I mean, I don't know, but I want to do that. I want to see, I don't ever think I'll be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I want to see how much muscle could I put on, how strong could I actually be, what's the peak I could reach without having to do steroids or, I just want to see my peak existence before I get too old to do it. I don't know.
That takes work.
Yeah, and I'm too busy, too.
It's not a priority.
No, it's not. But it
is a dream.
But it's on my mind constantly.
Yeah.
But a lot of things.
I would have liked to have seen what I looked like and how good I was at 23 or 24 in athletes instead of my career ending at 18, 19 years old because of knee surgeries. I look at that. I can see pictures of my body then at 18, 17.
Yeah, well, and think how much
better it would have been at 23.
When you actually got the man mass. Yeah. It's just, instead of lanky, stringy. I'm not saying you were lanky or stringy, but just you know what I mean.
It's tough to be lanky and stringy at 5'8".
Yeah, but I just mean I don't know what it's even called, but just there's and not all some a lot of those young athletes do have that man mass, but you know what I'm saying. You reach like almost 30 and you put on you get thicker, but not like fat, but just I don't know if you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
Yeah, basically what you're doing is filling out.
Yeah, you can fill out a lot more with your muscle at 30 than you can, or your late 20s than you could at 18. Yeah. And I don't know why, maybe by virtue of DHT, but I don't know. We won't get into DHT. I think it's bad.
I had on it last night.
DHT, really? Okay.
Yeah, bad testosterone.
Bad testosterone. Yeah. DHT's not bad testosterone.
Well, it was one of them. It was the other one. LHT. What is the bad bacteria testosterone?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you've got some. It's your body's producing bad testosterone when you get older, basically because of your diet.
But are you talking about the kind that make your hair fall out?
Yes.
Okay. Well, they would claim that's DHT, but I actually disagree with that. In that, like specifically these drugs like finasteride, dutasteride, these hair loss drugs target systematically in your body DHT. But that's specifically why you get sexual side effects because DHT is you have testosterone, which is great, but DHT is a more potent, like in the sense of like they even talk about like fighters, like DHT heavy fighters versus like different testosterone heavy fighters, and talk about like the difference. That aside though, when you lower DHT, you start having these libido, brain fog, and now the people who say it causes hair loss, it does because it's that, but that's not the root cause. The root cause is your body is inflamed or unhealthy or toxins, and that induces the heavy DHT buildup in your follicles. And so it's not that, hey, you're a man and have high DHT, so you're just going to go bald. It's that there's a root cause that's causing you to be more sensitive to, or having a more DHT buildup that then shrink and kill your follicles. But as far as like high DHT levels makes men stronger, they even call, like read people online who specifically get DHT gels and talk about how they almost describe it as a second puberty, in the fact that all these plastics and stuff inhibit DHT and testosterone and mimic estrogen on these receptors, but that when they've taken the DHT gel and stuff like that, they got more body hair. Their voice deepened. They actually, they actually thickened out. They described it as a second puberty. And so, not to just poo on it, whatever you said last night, but I bet,
I said they're doing synthetic clean testosterone injections.
Okay, well, yeah, that's poison probably.
And that's not good. And the DHT levels because of bacteria and...
Sure, now I don't know nothing about bad bacteria.
Well, that's what I was telling them last night. But you had me worried that I gave bad information.
No, but I mean, like they describe DHT as the man hormone, because women have testosterone, and even women who get on some testosterone increasing supplements have good positive effects. Not like to the levels of man.
Facial hair.
Yeah, but because the implication with that is even our women today have too high levels of estrogen. Like these women wearing the synthetic plastic polyester clothing, the hormonal birth control, all these poisons even increase women's estrogen to a high level, where it increases odds of cancer or premenopause or negative things like that. So even women have today have too much estrogen. The idea that you're a woman, you just pump that estrogen as much as you can or get rid of testosterone. No. Even men need a little estrogen. I mean, not to the levels we get today, but
the hormonal issues with postmenopause is causing problems because of the medicines and medications that those women are on from a long-term effect.
Yeah, I can see that.
And that's the same thing you're talking about with the testosterone. But testosterone, you got a lot of wealthy folks out there that are doing a lot of crazy things with testosterone.
Jeff Bezos? I mean, you saw his transformation.
He's bowed up now. From the little bookstore.
But what's crazy is like even some of these actors I see that will do testosterone and get jacked up for a role. Like there's one of them, I don't know his name. He's an Indian actor, and he was always like in these movies being the nerdy, funny, this and that. And then he did a Marvel movie and was a superhero. Do you know the actor I'm talking about?
I think I know his face, but I wouldn't know his name.
Yeah, he's bowed up now and looks good, like handsome. Even his his facial structure. I don't necessarily think it was like plastic surgery, maybe a little bit, but you see, like Mark Zuckerberg kind of got bowed up. But then you notice he gets more into fighting. He gets more into this. He gets more into They went from soy boys to now they act like men. It's just weird because you see, like you're saying, you see these people like Bezos or that Indian actor or Mark Zuckerberg get on testosterone. All of a sudden, they stop dressing like
and they
idiots.
Go to UCF fights.
They go to UFC fights, and it's just like that change. It actually makes a change in their.
I guarantee you, they're training now. They think they can fight.
Well, yeah. But they think they can fight because the testosterone's telling them.
But wouldn't that be cool to be a billionaire? And now all of a sudden, everybody thought you were a nerd. Now I'm gonna turn myself into this money. I'm gonna turn myself into being an athlete.
But it's not. I don't even think it's so much a conscious thing. I just think it's.
You don't think it's consciously?
No, I think they consciously say, okay, well, whatever. I want to jack up for the superhero role. I'm going to get on the testosterone. But I just think. Hormones change your personality, vastly. So I think them actually having proper levels of testosterone change them with, just actually change them. Now, Mark Zuckerberg might have started thinking, well, man, these guys, testosterone levels, that's healthy. I want to get healthy, want to, be healthy, have the proper levels, whatever. You get on them, then you start, low testosterone causes depression. Low testosterone causes lack of confidence, low self-esteem, this and that. Well, you start having that testosterone, weight gain. But, you start having these things.
Muscle loss.
Yeah, maybe you start getting these things, it really affects. I don't think it's wow, I look good, now I have confidence. You just start feeling like a man, if that makes sense.
It all goes, it's integrated into one, though.
Yeah.
You can't, you don't think that you gain confidence by looking in the mirror
well, you do,
getting muscles?
But at the same time, if you stuck yourself full of testosterone right now, you're not muscled up, but, man, you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling tough and rough. Regardless of how you look right now, if you gave yourself some testosterone, I guarantee tomorrow you'd wake up feeling a certain way. But but I just mean the hormones affect your perception. I mean I don't know if that's that crazy to say. I just believe
well, it's all integrated, like you said.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're feeling good because of testosterone shots, and getting more confidence because you look better in the mirror. And you act more like a man because you look better in the mirror, and your hormones inside is changing the way your thought processes are. Sure,
but I would even tie that into like a lot of obesity now. Like if you look at large or fat men in the 50s, 60s, 70s, they mostly just had a big gut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was all just kind of gut. Proportionately though, they still maybe big arms, big legs, whatever. But now you look at a fat man, and they hold weight like a woman. And so what I think there is that not only is it just obesity because of your lifestyle, but even the way we hold fat now on men looks different than in the past. Have you noticed that or thought about that? Like, look at an obesity.
It's a different type of fat.
Well, it's a different type of accumulation in that, like, you talked about low testosterone lending to weight gain. Well, it leads to weight gain that I just think there's
fatty deposits.
Fatty
but
deposits.
What you're saying is now it's in the arms, legs, hips.
Well,
just not the gut
think about it. A fat man in the past, just you think about the guy with the big old gut.
Yeah.
But how come those guys really just are fat in their gut? And it accumulates elsewhere, of course. But now, big old fatty fat is just fat every single place on his body. I think that's hormones.
The fat deposits are now.
Have you ever noticed that?
I can't say that I when I look at a guy and he's overweight, I don't think he looks different from the overweight guy 30 years ago.
Sure. I've noticed that, and I'm not. That's not a condemnation on anyone who's overweight or anything. It's more so a broad statement on, I think, what they're doing to our health with these plastics, these fake chemical, or not fake, just these chemicals that are endocrine disruptors. All these Scentsy the thing you hang in your car that makes it smell good, blocks testosterone absorption, or you blocks because these fake estrogens go and sit on these receptors, and then the testosterone that's coming through, can't sit on that one, can't sit on that one, can't sit on that one. I don't know what happens to it then, gets reabsorbed or just dissipates or goes away, but that's what's happening. Like endocrine disruptors,
artificial
blockers,
smells,
yeah,
aerosols.
Yeah.
You're talking about and pesticides with your fruit.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing to blueberries and strawberries and apples now with those pesticides? They're absorbing all
frankenfruits.
And do you know what they're doing with the as far as washing them? Everybody thinks, hey, if you wash the fruit, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, are they even water soluble chemicals?
There's the key.
If they're not water soluble,
then it doesn't matter how much you wash it. Or scrub it.
Yeah, I don't know if they are or not. You just buy a chemical wash to get those chemicals off.
You want to wash your apple with chemical wash?
You just use a little bleach.
Yeah, no problem with that.
No.
Get you the lavender bleach. Mm-hmm. The scent smells so good.
Or even don't even get me into these dish detergents that are causing leaky guts. The soap you use for your dishwasher, if it says detergent, it's poison. Soap and detergent are two different things. How many of our shampoos are called shampoo and soap, but you read on the back and it's labeled as a detergent. Very big difference. Things you wash your clothes with, no one thinks about it, disrupting your hormones.
Think about the Dawn. How many people use that green Dawn?
Yeah.
And that blue Dawn?
Yeah.
I got a cupboard full of Dawn.
Yeah, which love. It works good, but
it works really good.
Man, no one ever thinks how deep the poison actually runs, man.
No. Well, stay tuned to the Phee Smee Show with Manly Mark Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. We today talked about an absolute buffet of nothing.
What do you mean nothing? That was a bunch of something.
We had 2 million folks that are dispelled in Gaza living in tents that Israel's trying to take care of. Never got to that. But we did get to the 8 robot taxis that 4 in Austin and 4 are in San Francisco.
Crazy times,
and then we got Russia that's just continuing to bombard the Ukraine,
mm-hmm.
and he just threw his wedding ring up and called it right. Go and do that again. That's very impressive.
What do you mean? I do it.
Look at there, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you not see me do that yesterday during the episode? I do it all the time.
I don't have any idea if you were even here yesterday for an episode.
Oh, you got me there. You got me there.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, tune in today at Midday Madness with Manly Mark at 12 noon. And tonight, it's Night with Phee as we just keep on night.